Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the third and final map of the i49 Grand Finals. We're going to get into Granary here. Oh my god, it's Salamancer! Yeah, I did that last time, but big ups to that guy for making the travel. I was definitely jealous about all of that and not being there, but, you know, hey, there's always next year. Looks like this map we actually have Epsilon in the red, mixing up the color schemes we were going with, and TCM in the blue this time. So numlocked going out the garage door, then to the right, and this Granary rollout, trying to protect the crates a little bit. We are in birthday mode. Happy birthday, TF2! Because you can't really turn that off. Yeah. Oh well. Definitely a good celebration. Celebrate TF2. Yay! And in the meantime, TCM working out pretty good here. Epsilon kind of just didn't really end up making a whole lot of impact on the middle point, and it is going to go TCM's way. So once again, if you were not aware, this TCM is not a new team per se, but it is Broder, who I believe, you know, secured some sort of sponsorship from TCM in relation to getting to this LAN. So thanks for TCM to continuing to be a part of the TF2 community, and big ups to Epsilon as well. Additionally to all the teams that made it to i49, even if they didn't get any airtime, if they're playing group stage matches, whatever. I didn't personally see any of the Highlander, but I know that there was a couple Highlander games at i49, so big up to all the players who attended. Now TCM trying to work in through the second points garage a little bit, but not really making a whole lot of progress. Now starting to play the footsie game a little bit more. Somebody going in through kind of the regular front door. Now the Uber comes around the corner. Good Uber from Red as well, and then a juggle on numlocked. You know, didn't do any damage, but did keep him in place a little bit longer. And wow, now a lot of damage coming out from all over the place. TCM getting shut down. Yep, and there we go. Jukebox behind, but he's going to have to make a wonder play here, and I think they know he's there. There we go. Oh, wow. Good trade there, though, as he got thrown towards Mike. Did get the frag. And Epsilon gets capture on the middle point. So there you go. knoxxx just coming back up, starting to build his charge, while mirelin has a slight advantage. Again, nothing too significant. But Epsilon now in control of the middle point. And definitely want to set the tone for this map. I mean, they came in as favorites. They came in from the upper bracket. Been playing great all tournament. And just want to seal the deal. Now, getting a little bit of... Now, players just getting settled in the yard. Getting ready to roll here. And just trying to get posted up. Trying to, you know, get an opening. Granary is tough to sometimes make things happen, especially on this section of map right here. You know, when one team's controlling the middle and the other team's in yard. Zebbo going down, though, is definitely going to force TCM to kind of have to react to that and, you know, get out of there, not stay involved in that turf. They were definitely going to lose more players. Ubers are out, and now looks like Mike's going to rotate around and get behind the TCM team. And if they can close them out, it's going to be helpful. But there's also some other fights going on as Cookye goes down. Also kind of interesting positioning. Rib was pretty far forward in the right yard, and TCM fairly spread out, losing a lot of players because of that. numlocked kind of comes in and cuts Rib off from using Z to escape. TCM bled some players as well, so I mean it is just a 3-on-3 standoff with both medics at the same charge level. So nothing happening there at the moment. Now we're back to the good old classic Granary yard standoff, but numlocked throwing a couple stickies through the window to just try to maybe get some damage out there, open things up a little bit. knoxxx reaches Ubercharge first, but not really going to be relevant necessarily. And yeah, TCM, I mean, just holding left yard, which is kind of the responsible, usual spot to hold here. One scout just watching the garage, just making sure nobody tries to sneak out there when soldiers of the demo man aren't looking. And Rib a little bit further forward, but he's got good heals, so it's not a big deal. We get some damage on Mike. Mike now, they've made the decision. Mike going in. Oh, good rockets. But mirelin able to surf enough, just be at 60 health and not be so fearful that he's got to pop that uber charge. So Epsilon, you know, all they really accomplished there was just sacrificing Mike. And now they're going to back up a little bit. Yeah, there goes Zebo. Good pick from Epsi to kind of shut things down. The Uber pop though, so in the end it's TCM with a bit of an advantage here. Mike forced that Uber to be popped, but Epsilon really not using theirs. So, you know, TCM able to build those up fully. Now they're the ones with the large advantage. But probably going to have more of this Granary back and forth around the point. Jukebox just kind of poking through Z. Not a whole ton happening right now. knoxxx and Epsilon just building their Uber charge, hanging back. And, you know, it's kind of reared its head in the ESEA LAN. When you got big money on the line, you know, things are going to develop slowly in these games. It's not going to happen all at once. The players and the teams are going to be extremely cautious. Some of the risks that they might normally take when they're playing online, when there's not a big crowd watching them, when there's not big money on the line, might not necessarily happen. Here comes zebbosai with the Uber. The Uber's out for Red Team Epsilon as well. Gear does get the frag on Jukebox. So zebbosai has got to back out. Goes over for ammo and health. Maybe he was in dire need of the ammo. But that definitely put him in an awkward position. As he kind of got trapped out through Z. And now Epsilon just storming forward. Gear's going to wrap around this left side. Doesn't get up to the pipe, but does get onto the point. Can you get the air shot? Yes! Oh! Doesn't need to hit the third one. Might have if the soldier had not gotten gunned down. And there we go. Epsilon taking the 1-0 lead. So maybe that's, now that that's lined up a little bit, then you know, we'll be able to get a bit more of an aggressive game here. So now that TCM isn't playing from, you know, dead even, they're playing from behind. They got to get out there and make some action happen. Now Epsilon sends one soldier over the top. Good bomb to take out Rib. zebbosai, bybben, and Jukebox combining to get kills as well. But numlocked and Gear still standing strong. It's just bybben in here. mirelin has escaped. Nice pipe by numlocked. mirelin was thinking about it, but yeah, not going to take out a demo man and a soldier by himself. Yeah, there's that overdose. Yeah, like I said, I don't particularly like it. It does add to the escapability of the medic, but I prefer some of the other weapons. Everybody's got their own style, and that's some of the cool stuff that TF2 has to offer. Is there's definitely some different builds that you can utilize based off of personal preference. And hard to nail down on some of those what exactly is the best. Nice trap there by numlocked. I like that positioning. Definitely takes an accurate placement to really get him on there, but that's a pretty cool spot. Not really going to find anybody, though, it seems, as TCM moving forward through the choke side. And, yeah, now zebbosai throwing down some damage. Does get Gear. numlocked picks off bybben, so one player down for each team. But TCM taking the turf and able to get the capture started. Hey, mirelin, though, gets separated. Oh! Does get the needle kill on Stefan and picks up the health back, but Mike's gotten a 2K. The capture stopped. mirelin was separated. Now is just going to get hooked up with somebody in yard. But with numlocked pushing forward and seeing where the players are, Epsilon is definitely going to take the impetus to keep pushing forward here and keep attacking. About 20 minutes left on the game, so we're about a third of the way through this. If Epsilon can get another round, it's certainly going to be quite comforting. Mike, the drop on Rib. Oh, man. Devastating. Quick rocket attacks. ×3 on the point. Goes in with the shotgun. Oh, point blank to mirelin. Didn't have much time, but did what he needed to do, which was get the big medic frag. Now 2 down, counting the medic for TCM. This heavy's not going to last that long. Well, I don't know. Maybe. To save. Without the heals, it's tough to survive as that medic. But Jukebox with the snipe. zebbosai's down, so it looks like Jukebox, bybben really not getting that focus fired on him. So able to survive at 183. and forcing Epsilon to back out. They must have called, you know what, let's just wait. Let's get the Uber charge, then we'll push in. And that's a smart decision. Why take a risk here, especially with Jukebox on snipe. They're going to send Bash in a snipe. Opening the doors, though, might reveal his presence. And, yeah, a little bit of sniper footsie. Basically just covering also for Mike as Mike bombs in. And Jukebox now still trading shots with Bash. It's like Bash is maybe scared off Jukebox. Jukebox goes Soldier. Bash has a shot at the medic. I think he hit Demo a little bit. Rib. Now heals, though, going down. Rib is still up. Bash out with the SMG. And Rib's not going to be able to delay this enough. There we go. Epsilon with another round win, which is very positive for them. Going to take it 2-0. And a good advantage here now on Granary. It's definitely going to force TCM to adapt a bit. And, you know, maybe get a bit more aggressive. But they're just simply being outplayed in the big fights by numlocked, Gear, and Mike. Bash and Stefan also doing excellent as well. But mainly, you know, I don't know, acting more as counters to bybben and cookye than really swinging fights wide open. Rib definitely trying to go for the scouts a little bit, though. He's got his pipes, been throwing some of those out, not really connecting with much. Now Stefan Numlock getting some frags. It is 4 in favor of TCM versus 3 for Epsilon. Bash took a rocket right to the face. 13 health, getting on top of mirelin, but mirelin only down to half health. So TCM going to get the capture. Going to push forward as well. Kind of a slower capture, but that's not too big of a deal. Going to slow down the forward spawn a little bit, but just getting this far forward quickly is pretty nice. They really only have the 3 players here, though. They're going to be up against 5 locally for Epsilon in not too long. But they're going to get the jump in, get the pop. And a little scared about how this is going to work out for him after Uber, though. Good fight over here, though, as Mike taking a lot of damage. While Zebo does end up going down, though. Not able to really deal with those scouts or get out of there safely. Checking for stickies. Epsilon wants to go on the counter offensive with his soldier in the drop down, too. They get a little bit of damage done. Mirelin has to pick up the bottle now at 105. Cookye picked down. You just see all that fire going his direction with the shotgun. Great work there. Now, Epsilon, she's going to back up a little bit. Mirelin with a slight advantage. Stefan says, yo, let's build this. But he's got to get rid of his overcharge first to really efficiently do it. And looks like Blue is going to have the charge. Oh, big air shot. Definitely disrupts things, but the surf is pretty huge for Jukebox. Basically just dies with dignity in the corner, though, instead of accomplishing anything. Maybe that was with dignity. I don't know. Red is now trying to push in counter to counter that death to get some sort of turf, some sort of advantage. Doing pretty good right now. TCM did have pretty good overheals, but that's all been shaved off. The soldier up top, knoxxx just running right forward, and then the soldier drops down and gets the heals. Good play around. He's trying to get focused down by, I believe that is Jukebox with the towering hats. And still some players in the corners. Jukebox is very low. Rib as well. Rib down. Jukebox on the side. 50 health. I don't know if he's been spotted. Wow. Yeah, just a pistol down. And 3 on the capture point. Going to get the capture. It's going to give the forward spawns for Epsilon, which is nice, as well as push back those 4 spawns for TCM if they still had control of the middle point. So now kind of a different scenario where, you know, they don't have many local numbers, but they have even more than TCM does. So even though they just have the 3 players, no contesting of that capture, and they're just going to be able to back up and rotate a little bit. Excuse me. Doing all 3 of these maps back to back, and well, it's still early in my day actually, so I shouldn't be yawning. But Epsilon up top with the Uber charge, getting ready to push in here. They are going to go in very quickly. Good flash onto the scout to protect him against this heavy weapons guy. Get that scattergun right in his face. Actually, well, using the pistol. bybben very low, 27 health now, but staying alive. There we go. Finally down. It is 4 on 2. Jukebox there goes down. Just Cookye, and Cookye picked out of the air by Mike. Now a 3-0 lead, which definitely is pretty comforting. But you know, Granary, even though it is one of the slower of the classical maps, can still go extremely quick. You can have some very fast rounds on Granary. Things can just get blown wide open, and you can just bum rush all the way to last with an uber charge. You can definitely see some pretty quick 5-0s sometimes on Granary. But, you know, TCM is putting up a good fight. They're just having problems closing out the deal and maybe a couple strategical positioning missteps. Zebbosai goes forward, gets knoxxx, so that's a great pick. Gear down, so this is Mike. Oh! The surf, though, from mirelin. Going to dodge the air shot. Mike couldn't pull it off, even with all of his MGE practice. And Stefan going to be falling back here, retreating. So TCM in a good position to get, as I said, you know, one of these momentum rolls where they're going to be able to get the capture on 2 uncontested. Jukebox is just going to get that forward spawn, which is very far forward. Got a lot of buffs down. Jukebox might just catch up with them as they push with this Uber. They should go soon, considering they have a 75% advantage. It's only just going to get slimmer and slimmer as things go on here. So, got to take advantage of that and get involved. Looks like they might choose their left door. Epsilon's right. Uber is in. The jump is in. Damage on the heavy going down. Still fairly... No, now Bash is definitely down now. 3-on-3. Can TCM close this down, though? bybben here making some big frags. Has to get knoxxx and Stefan. But, oh, big damage shot on him. Down to 38. Playing the footsie game, but with Stefan getting fully buffed. Going to need 2 direct meat shots to deal with it. Almost a misstep there by Epsilon. Would have been very disappointing to concede that point if the medic had actually stepped off of that. Now we see Jukebox on Sniper, which could work out very well for him if he can get just the right timing. The one stab on Stefan maybe could have just waited a little bit longer, but actually probably, you know, meta-wise, probably better to just die right away. Because now, you know, as his team's getting closer to Uber, he will be respawning, he will be coming back, and we'll be back in action just at about the time that they get their Uber charge. Looks like he's going to go spy, though, so forget that. We'll see if he can get in. The time on the point, you know, definitely creeping away, so less so going to be able to just kind of stand on the point and get a quick capture. Maybe just figure, well, I'll just go for the double spy. You know, if they caught me on spy the one time, they're not gonna catch me on spy again. This time might work a little bit better because he's with his team. He's on the point, getting the capture, and now somebody rotates to get on him. Ubers haven't been used. Here come the Ubers now, and let's see if they can capitalize on that early time that Jukebox got him. But zebbosai goes down, so pretty far forward. Damage in the favor of Epsilon, it looks like. Now it's a 4-on-3, but one of those players, Jukebox, isn't really in the fight. So if mirelin can keep these players up, maybe Jukebox can get involved, but it looks like Mike is up as well. So, yeah, here comes Jukebox, but just right in with Mike and going to go down. So, 3 up for TCM, but it looks like we're just going to have a rotation of the Ubers cycling. knoxxx building his, trying to catch up, not too far back. And just 11 minutes, or closer to 12 minutes left on the clock. Jukebox on Sniper again. Has got to do something to open this up. See if he can get a frag. Nobody counter-sniping from Epsilon, probably because they're just realizing he's on it. Stefan runs back, but just goes to cabinet. Isn't going to switch off. Seems like Bash is the one who would. Has been running a little bit of Sniper. Uber pressured out from red team as well, so another cycling of the Ubers. The longer this goes on, the more in favor it is to TCM, because or sorry, to Epsilon, excuse me, because they have time to burn here. They don't really care if TCM is banging their head against the wall. That's great, you know. If they're just using an Uber, not making much happen, backing out and building another Uber, then that's a minute that's wasted. So Epsilon just has to do that, you know, really a handful of more times, and this is their series. They're going to walk out of here as the i49 champions after not even making it to the grand finals last year. They had a good event, but they got knocked out in the lower bracket finals, not able to represent the Europeans in that awesome grand final stage that we had last year. And you know, this year it looks like they're on their way. There's still, you know, 10 minutes and 20 seconds. Game isn't over yet, but TCM does have to start racking up the points. The pressure just kind of builds and builds the longer you let this go on. And in that last game with Epsilon making that big comeback, you know, from 3 rounds down, I believe it was. They were able to be aggressive. They were able to make the plays happen. They pushed the tempo. They didn't let it weigh too much on their conscience. TCM seemed like they're having a tough time, you know, on the first map when it was 12 minutes left and the game was pretty close. They just weren't able to seal the deal and get captures going and exert their dominance over the other team. Now they've lost Jukebox, who went in pretty early and aggressive. zebbosai getting the majority of the Uber here as he was about half health and needs the heals. Bash going to go down, so 2 down for Epsilon, but that's 3 down for TCM, so they're going to need some big frags to make this happen, but that's not going to happen, as now it's just Rib and mirelin. Mirelin's going to try to get back to that big health pack on second, does get it, but Rib's starting to take some damage as well. Clock is definitely ticking, rolling its way down. So we're at 9 minutes here. Good scout pressure from Cookye. Does get knocked down to 29. It's followed up by Jukebox with a 2K. So 2 down for both teams, but slightly more important players down for Epsilon. So it does give TCM a very large Uber advantage to potentially use here. And 95% looks like they're going to go ASAP, which they should, as knoxxx just respawning. Stefan just getting back into the fight as well. And zebbosai, yeah, goes for a huge air shot, but more of a reflex kind of shot. Does just walk right into the heavy and shotguns him down. Here comes knoxxx out with an Uber stall. Does hit one. Tries to go for a crossbow as well. Not going to happen. And TCM get their first round of the map. And with 8 minutes, a little over 8 minutes on the clock, they're going to have to speed up the tempo and get that next round pretty quick. Make things happen here in order to make this as exciting as possible going into the final minutes. TCM definitely, you know, would love to have first place here. Broder have accomplished quite a bit in European TF2, but Epsilon definitely has been just playing so great in the entire lead up to this event. Numlocked, great frags, great damage. Ends up getting Jukebox, I believe that was. He does go down though to zebbosai, who's also getting a lot of work done up top. zebbosai gets the air shot on, I'm not sure if that was Mike or Gear, both of them still up, looking to get the capture. His Gear, while Micah just says, I'll see you guys on second point. Actually, I don't think he didn't even grab the health back there. That's interesting. I guess maybe just the slightest effort of subterfuge, you know, to not let them walk in and see, oh, there's no health back there. Someone has been here. So I don't know if that was just the thought with that, or if he thought he grabbed the health pack and it was just too late. He definitely kind of made a detour over there. Now TCM with 50% Uber charge. Just going to try to work in here off Uber, which is going to be important for him. Need to make something happen. This is what more of the style that they need to do. Just try to be aggressive and make plays happen through that. The scouts, bybben and cookye, are up, but bybben was fighting away from the medic, and now the medic tossed towards, I guess those are grain silos. So there's the granary, and just taken down by the splash damage. So now it's just cookye, gets the health back. But I mean, this is a really important middle capture for him, and they just got shut down. But Bash and Stefan, good frags. Now zebbosai, Rib, mirelin, Jukebox, about to get, you know, more up, but they just lost so much turf here and don't really have the players in the position to be able to defend this yard much. Uber charges essentially even, so this is going to come down more to positioning and play, and you know, deathmatch as well. Jukebox up, trying to play footsie games a little too much. Definitely spotted out here. The bottle's going to help. Going to rotate around and just be a hassle for a while. Steals the health pack on middle as well, but he's going to get cleaned up. You know, it's just an eventuality, and there it is. Finally, Stefan does kill him. Gunboats on him, and just trying to be irritating. But now he can't get involved in this defense, and that's definitely going to be an obstruction here. TCM really would prefer not to be on the defense right now. Would really be preferring to be pushing forward, whether it's mid, whether it's second point, being aggressive and out there. Now zebbosai kind of behind enemy lines a little bit. Gonna get cleaned up by Bash and Stefan. Good damage from their scatter guns. and Gear is going to pick off mirelin as well. So definitely a bit of a downhill slide here for TCM as things are kind of starting to fade away from them. You know, a lot of these teams kind of peaked at different times. HRG had a tough time finding the rhythm all LAN. I think TCM probably peaked in the upper bracket, the lower bracket finals, and the other lower bracket match in order to beat, to get to the grand finals. I'm a little blurry on some of the bracket, so I don't want to try to talk too specific here. But TCM, you know, now up against Epsilon, definitely with 4 minutes on the clock and 3 rounds needed, definitely seems like they're a little bit overmatched here. And I think this is just kind of one of those cases of the grand finals if you have a team that's just so dominant and the other team is just happy to have made it here that, you know, they can't really put together a legitimate enough challenge to the power of Epsilon. They've been close matches, but Epsilon a pretty clear step above as Gear gets zebbosai there, and it's just Rib and mirelin on the point. But i49 overall was a huge success. You know, I'm extremely proud of just, you know, how the TF2 community has continued to develop, how this event came to place. I mean, you know, that people were inspired by the actions of Salamancer and myself and the rest of the XTV crew, and just, you know, the backing of the community when it came down to i46. And this time with i49, things were even bigger and better, with HRG getting squared away early, getting ready to go, with Team Immunity having a successful fundraising campaign to get out here, Team Broder making it out here, the Frenchies making it out here, a lot of great teams, a lot of great players, and it sounded like everybody had a great time. No real crazy LAN drama that I heard about. Nobody got into fights that I heard about. And sounds like everybody had a great, wonderful time. So TCM trying to pick up another round here. But, you know, this maybe puts it in the realm of mathematical possibility, but it's still going to be extremely tough for him. Rotating players over. Epsilon just trying to defend as long as possible. Needles are out. And here we go. TCM now 4-2. But they're going to have to be extremely, extremely quick on these next 2 rounds to be able to close this out. Now, if you're not familiar with the I series, a lot of people have been asking, when's the next i49? Well, there's only the one and only i49, because actually this is the I series of LANs hosted by Multiplay, and they're being numbered as more LANs are being produced, I guess you would call it. So generally speaking, every third LAN is the major one. So they do have, you know, a wintertime LAN, a spring LAN, and then a summer LAN. So they have 3 LANs throughout the year, but this summer LAN is on a bank holiday. People can get it off across Europe, and so it's a very, very much so a larger I-Series LAN. Multiplay has done a great job organizing this LAN over the years. They are a server provider in the UK, and I think globally. You should check them out if you're interested. The LAN, the tournament for TF2 also sponsored by Aqua Tuning. Thanks to them for supporting TF2 as well. And they are planning to continue to support TF2 at the I-Series. So I think everybody basically should continue playing competitive TF2. Don't give up hope. And I think I-52 is bound to be an amazing event. You know, I don't know if we're going to be able to organize an Asian team to get over. If there is an Asian team that can compete with the likes of these teams. I know the Asian scene a little bit smaller, but Australia is certainly surprising. So maybe there are those star Asian TF2 players that we just do not know about. UGC Asia is starting, which is obviously going to take a few seasons to develop and start producing awesome talent. But congratulations to UGC for launching a Asian division, and that should help boost the global TF2 scene a little bit more. Epsilon putting pressure on here, might get one more capture point. It looks like indeed that is a possibility as they're taking down Jukebox. The GG is called. We're at the 5-2. A few minutes left on the map timer, or seconds rather. But that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to Epsilon eSports for winning I49. They definitely deserved it. A great game there. That's numlocked, Gear, 2 other players that I don't know by face. Rusky Dew on the left, Argo on the right. aggro, excuse me, on a long day of casting, and a lot of support from the fans at this event. A great event, and a great job by the community. Pats on the back for everybody involved, and looking forward to the next big global TF2 event. Should be I-52. Start your planning now. Let's make it an even more amazing event. Much love to everybody. I am eXtine, and I will see you next time. Peace out.